Alright. Today we're just gonna be doing Balatro run. I don't wanna really do anything too crazy today, just for a simple white stake win. Hopefully we can make it past white stake, and we can see how far we can take it. You know, Nan Invis is something that I'm really expecting, but we'll see what we can get. An early baseball card isn't bad. We can get uncommon jokers later on, and that could be good. I want to build towards hearts. Should have gone towards clubs. It's okay. You do never know until you're already there, so. But that's okay. Bit suboptimal, but we still got it in two hands, which is pretty much the minimum that you're more than likely going to get there. You could do it in one hand if you get really lucky, but it's more reliable this way. So we can get here. That's good uncommon. Okay, so we got two uncommons here. If your hand has only one card, exposed and clicked on. I don't think that's too good. 1/6 chance to crash the game. That's not too good either. Gains 0.5 every time a joker or playing card is destroyed. I mean, yeah, that could be really good later on. Especially if we get a hangman here. No. 1,000 chance to get $1 million is pretty good though. You never know, you might get it. Okay, we've learned our lesson from last time. We need to build towards clubs. Especially if we need to ace of clubs here. Would be really good. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Okay, we'll put you over here. Baseball card's already doing a little bit of work, but I mean, we didn't need it right there, but... Range for this, times 1.22 molt and $1. That's pretty good. Let's get clearance sale first. Can't afford it, I didn't think so. Okay. Also, I think right now, this is just better. We're not going to get anything off of a baseball card here, which is a bit unfortunate, but we're going to be gaining money from this. So I think in the long term, this is just going to be more beneficial. We know to go for clubs now, as we're just in a club run, and that's okay. We can always pivot, because right now we have not changed. You know, our full deck is still perfectly regular. It's still completely vanilla, so we can do a lot with that later on if we need to. Almost a straight flush there. That would have been really good, but alright. Yeah, I suppose we still go for clubs. Just hope for the best. Alright, beautiful. Let's try that again. Okay. That is a pretty good small blind. We are very weak right now. We will not make it past the big blind unless we can get something else. So I'm looking for any kind of mult joker. I guess we are now definitely going towards hearts. But about any heart flush should clear it. Especially thanks to lazy. Okay, that's good. Lazy's not getting us too much right now, but I mean it's a solid guy. Yeah, Glungus is a good growth joker, so later on that could be really helpful. I think what I want right now is probably fish. I think that's probably gonna help us the most of everything there. We want to prioritize flushes here, but if we can't get a flush in time, we are going to be quite a bad standing. Okay, alright. I think we clear this in one, but just barely. Okay, no, we have a little bit more wiggle room than I expected. Okay. We can get LC Directs back. I think that's worth it. Because that's gonna work with baseball card. Plus, if we get a hangman in here, it'll be very beneficial. There might be a hangman in this. No. Okay. Okay, honestly, baseball card's not doing anything. I think that we can sacrifice it. 4 fingers is pretty good. So we don't have to stress too much about flush. I think I am going to take the negative tag, just because I think there are still a lot of really good jokers out there that I'd like to snag. So, that should clear it. Awesome. Half Blueprint could be good here. I want to keep Galungus just because it's going to grow. I think 4 fingers is less useful than a half Blueprint, which we could put either on Galungus or maybe Lazy Joker, because then we could get an extra $1, at least for scoring there. An extra negative, because more Jokers means just a bit better. No repeat hands, that shouldn't be a problem. But we'll go ahead and play a pair, and while we're doing that, we will also stone this to get a bit of extra chips on the way. And I think what's going to be better here is to have Blueprint the Glungus. Yes. Okay. And then we'll do this and have Blueprint Lusty. And then move them over to Lazy. For scoring. Okay. I'm not sure if it didn't trigger or if it may not work with Lazy. For every vowel in the name of the card to its right. Okay. That could be pretty good. Let's see where our best one is. That's plus 20, plus 30, plus 40, plus 20, plus 30. So we'll keep them next to half Blueprint for now, until we get a more vowel-heavy Joker later on. I'd like to move out of Lusty if we can, but I think it's a bit too early for that still. No Wheel of Fortune, but unfortunate. Select one card to turn evil, could be pretty good here, although I do think we want to start destroying cards. Hanged Man is going to help out with our LC Directs. Okay, that's interesting. It's about the occurrence, not necessarily the quantity. So, destroying 5 cards is the same as destroying 1 if it happens at the same time. Select one card to apply a Swapper Seal to. That could be pretty good. Hanged Man. We would like to go ahead and hang... Let's get these 2 out of here. And we will apply the Seal to you. Swaps chips and mold, for those of you on the know. And I think right now we would like to do this. I believe this is the best order of operations right here. So this will swap chips and molds, and then we're... Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a solid hand for now. Yeah, we still have a lot of growth, but it's a good starting place. I figure it contains 5 cards, changes the suit of the last card to that of the first card. That's pretty good. Has 2.1 molt if scored hand, contains a 9 and a 10. Okay. And plus 15 molt on the first hand of the round, otherwise minus 2 molt. I think that that is going to be really good. It's not changed scoring. So, interesting. I wonder if I play, like... If I were to play a King High card with a bunch of just other cards, would the last card turn into the King High card? I believe so, and I think that would be really good. So I think I'm going to go ahead and sell out of Lazy. We'll get you in here. I think Moon could do quite a bit. So it converts... Changes the suit of the last card to that of the first card. Okay. Interesting. So, if I were to do this... Yes, now it's a Jack of Hearts. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so we're slowly converting everything to hearts, and that's definitely going to be good later on. I shouldn't have done the 2. That is a misplay on my end, but we will be alright. think what I'd like to do here is this. I think this is going to be the most beneficial play. Oh, it has to contain 5 cards. I forgot about that. That is another misplay from me. I apologize sincerely. We could go for Baron. How many kings do we have? We only have 4 kings. Baron is not quite what I'd like to do right now. I think Penis would go pretty well with Glungus. You know, I'd like to commit to that, yes. With Glungus and Penis, I think we would be pretty good standing. Playing your most played hands crashes the game. Okay. What is our most played hand? Flush. Okay, so we will not be playing any flushes. What is the best play here, then? Pairs. Yes, most certainly pairs. 3 of a kind, even. Wonderful. Okay. We can move out of flushes pretty easily now. 3 mult minus 0.5 mult every round. That could be pretty useful, but I think I will pass. I like our current standing. I really like the Glungus and Penis combo, so I'd rather not Onk and remove either one of them. Plus Moon's pretty nice, and half Blueprint plus LC Directs is being pretty helpful here. Destroying a card do quite a bit, because that's going to help with you. Yes. Oh. It re-triggers even the adding mult. Fascinating. I mean, times 3 mult down the line would be pretty nice, but I already have times 3.5 here. I think this is pretty helpful. So, I just want to make sure that we get all of this. Move on. Don't miss anything. Quite important. Okay. It's all rids your jokers and deck of all horses. That will be useful later on, but we do not have any horses right now, so I'm not particularly concerned. We will be doing this and playing all of you. Repair and converting that king. Moon is being quite helpful right now. I wonder if I were to put half Blueprint on Penis, would Penis gain plus 20 chips? Since it ended up adding more mult here. I would like to test that. I don't think we need any planet cards right now. Play or discard? Okay. Did. Yes. Okay. So that is something to keep in mind whenever we start a round. We should put half Blueprint in front of either Penis or Glungus. We'll put you in here. Do a heart. I believe there's a solid chance that this wins. Yes. It all comes down to whether half Blueprint is able to get LC Directs or not, and you just never know with that. But so far, half Blueprint has been doing very well. I'd like to keep upgrading Penis for now. Get Penis caught up to where Glungus is at. Sell this card to apply What's Up Seal to 2 random cards in your hand. This is plus 10 flush. I don't believe either of them is something that I'm really looking for at the moment. Wonderful. Okay. this. And this. We'll do this. And that should clear it. Wonderful. That is quite nice. Currently that does beat out Glungus and Penis combined. But Glungus is about to surpass, and Penis is getting there, so I feel like we should just hold on to them. When you pick a blind, if you have 3 or more empty Joker slots, spawns 3 of the same Joker. Well, as nice as that could be, we have too many good Jokers right now, and we don't necessarily know that that spawn Joker would be too good. Blue Pneumonial Printer. When the Joker to the right triggers, re-triggers it 1 time, destroys it, and adds 1 to future re-triggers. Interesting. Minecraft playthrough. And +3 molt for every other cat Joker in your possession. Currently +0 molt. Well, these 3 are also cats, so that's a bit disingenuous. And Blue Pneumonial Printer could be quite good. The problem is I just do not have the room for it. So unfortunately I will have to pass. Go on to here. Maybe over here. I would like to convert that King of Spades. So we're going to try to find... We'll do this. Yeah, that is a good conversion there. Now, unfortunately, we do have Horse up next, which is going to be pretty rough, but we will make do. That does help quite a bit. So this one is a bit concerning. My plan for it is that hopefully this goes well. So it has seemingly tricked me into making me discard my... Every time I come down here, it changes where the discard is, and that is quite tricky. We'll do this. And it is quite unfortunate that we have to deal with having horses in the deck now. Additionally, we will, from now on, have to work around what happened to our king. I probably shouldn't have played the kings, because they are just going to be there now. So that's a bit of a misplay on my end. We also now have 911 horse, which is quite unfortunate. We also can't sell and change jokers unless we were to sell 2 jokers. So we really do need a skip tag to remove horse. So we are going to be actively losing molt otherwise, and I would like to prevent that. Here we can put you over here, and we would like to get rid of our horses. Very nice. I believe I just discarded a card that I wanted to keep. That steel card. That was another misplay. I apologize. This steel card I would like to convert, so we will simply do this. Thank you. Okay. If it were to be the description, this would be very good for Leo. Fortunately, it is not. Leo is the least important Joker right now. However, it is negative, so there's nothing we can do about that. Perhaps we can get a good card in here. I don't believe I really cared to have any of these. Molt Evil could be interesting. I could convert that to hearts and make use of it. Swapper Seal. Interesting. I forgot to move half blueprint, but unfortunate. We might destroy this glass card here. We did not. That's okay. Not sure if I want that glass card destroyed right now. If it is, I am not upset about it, but if it is not, that's also okay. I would like to go ahead and add glass to you. Let's see what we can get in here. That's going to be good. I will save that until we have more money following Manacle. Nay. We will put you over here. Play this high card for you. That will be good for the future. Quite nice. Okay. I'd like to upgrade Penis next. It's not terrible, but frankly, LC Directs is still doing quite a bit more. Hermit now. And a multi-evil blue seal is quite nice. It's even already hearts. Which I could convert, so it wouldn't be a big deal, but it is nice that it is already there for us. Still not too worried about a Celestial pack, although another Hermit, it definitely would not hurt. This Joker gains +2 mult, play hand contains a flush, blah. We are not currently playing very many flushes at all. We're gonna have to look out for a Mecha Horse. It's gonna be a bit of a rough one. You're supposed to be gone now. Oh, I can just sell you. Okay. In that case, we'll get rid of you. How many face cards are there still? I'd like to convert you and you, just those two jacks, and then preferably also the aces. But I'm not too worried about that. If I can't get it, I can't get it. There's nothing to fret about. And I think it would just be better to get the blue seal and the gold card and the steel card to trigger. Go ahead and move you next to LC Directs. And let's see what our max hand size currently is at. Okay, so 196, 222 is not bad. Plus that will be improved after we upgrade with Jupiter. And we have multiple hands, so we do have a chance at beating this blind. We do not have a second Toaster Ball, although in the future this could be really good. But I do not believe we are currently in the situation to do such a thing. Beat the boss blind without triggering fire effects. Go back by 1 ante. That could be nice. Rerolls become free. Sets your shop slots to 9. The more you reroll, the more likely negative cards show up. That is very good, and I believe we have done enough with Moon where we do not quite need it anymore. So we will simply do this. Rerolls become free. So what we need to do now is reroll quite a bit until we get a negative, because that will help us out significantly so. Currently 1.5% odds. That's not terrible. I'm not sure how much money I have. So I'd like to... as nice as that would be, I cannot see my current economy situation. We'll buy you, in hopes that I can find... Not you. What is it called? The Joker that gives you... Or, sorry, the tarot card. Temperance. That's what it's called, sorry. If you have more than $5, you trigger all played cards once for every $5 you own, and subtracts $5 for every trigger. That's very interesting. However, I am just looking for Temperance at the moment. That could be cool, but I do need Temperance before I buy anything else. What do you do? Earn $8 at end of round if your Jokers are ordered by name length, shortest to longest. That's quite inconvenient. Green print. Copies ability of uncommon Joker to the right. Currently incompatible. Yeah, there is no uncommon Joker to the right, so that makes sense. A Hanged Man would go very well with LC Directs, but again, I need Temperance before I can do anything else. Creates from most played hands planet card. Every blind creates a black hole on the boss blind. That is quite helpful. However, I will only really be able to take it if it is negative. See a nice Baron there. However, again, Temperance is all that we are currently looking for. What do you do? Here's a random compatible Joker. Quite interesting. An extra discard would be quite nice. And so with that, and so with that. However, even though I want Jimbo, I can't currently afford him. I must hold out for Temperance. And then we can come back and get other options. Temperance does not seem to be wanting to show up particularly. Eventually, getting a toaster ball and another toaster ball will be very good for us. But we must survive this blind, and I'm currently not sure if we will without having Temperance. Oh, we have $55. In that case, your Katana is the rightmost Joker in your lineup, destroys the leftmost consumable you own when you select a blind, and gains +4 molt. That is terrible. However, you are going to be particularly good later on, and you are pretty nice right now. Four Fingers could be quite interesting, as could a photograph. I do not have too much money left over, but luckily we have gotten this. We are at 61. We will buy and use. And we are at 90. $117. Fibonacci could be fun. We are simply trying to build the best thing possible. Okay. Well, we have no room for deer. However, if we ever have to go down to one Joker, we do have deer. I would not like to get a horse. I'm aware of its tricks. I believe we can find a better half blueprint. Let's see what we have here. Round, or for a chance to reset back to okay. I would not like that. But doubling all probabilities would be quite nice. That helps out. It would have helped out with our half blueprint, but also it helps our hallucination. It could be nice. However, not quite what I'm looking for. The Hanged Man is very nice. That is going to be quite helpful, and it'll team up quite nicely with our Swashbuckler. That is going to be good for our economy. as will this be for our chips. We will upgrade our flush here. And we will put you in here as well. This is a good thing to have here at the end. More malt is always quite nice. That is okay. Let's try this. That is okay. We will add retriggers, and we could use a little bit more economy right now. Combine for 3 or more users on 3 of the same Joker. Again, that's something I'd like to do right now. It's a random consumable if your first hand contains a scoring gold card. Okay. Well, we don't really have many gold cards, so I'm not too worried about that. Hermit, we're at $89. We will put both of these back in here. That is going to pair quite nicely with a photograph. Trading card is going to be very good for thinning out our deck. I don't know what that does. That quite humorous. Just in case we end up in that situation. Face cards are very good to us. Is money, we're at $49. That is quite helpful. That is quite helpful. That is a good saving. We can add this and eventually get some more malt. We don't use any discards, that is good for our economy. I like bombs. And it would appear we are quite out of money now. So we will move on. We will destroy the horses. Well, let's start with destroying you. Then we will destroy both of you. Then we will destroy both of you. Then we will simply discard. Then I believe yes, both of our kings. If we get our steel king, then that would be what I'd like to change. I will keep you to convert you. Okay, we only have one more chance at it, and that is a bit unfortunate. Okay, well, we will start playing at flush 5. We should score decently well here. Unfortunately, the horse is going to hurt us a bit. But our score is alright. So, we have made it out of there. We get another flush 5. There's a nice joker, however, I couldn't get it right now. We'll add a red seal to you. But first, we will destroy... No, we will destroy you. And... I suppose let's just... increasing LC directs. That could be quite nice. What we can get. It's not going to help us. A mime would be nice, but I'd rather have it be negative. Although Subway Surfers would be good to look at. Things a bit more engaging. I think we are at the point where it is now the most optimal to, as unfortunate as it may seem. Big on. Columbus, I apologize. Enos, I apologize. Leo, you can stay. Washbuckler. Peter X. So, we have all those. We can create more deer if we ever so choose. And what we will do here is simply re-roll a bit so that our negative chance is quite high. We'll occasionally grab maybe a hanged man or a hermit. But if it is not a hermit or a temperance, then I will not take it here. That is essentially another hermit. We could bring back half blueprint, however it is not negative, and therefore I do not want it. More hand size though is quite nice. Let's try that. Interesting, the music is still playing. This would be pretty good for a bit more of economy. We could farm this up to maximum quite easily with our deer, so we could do this. Sugar books. Can I put anything in it? Not sure I understand how that works. So we will keep Subway Surfers there. And purchase our temperance. Upgrade our face guards. Flings a coin before scoring. Shooting says coin grants you ×2 mult, ×2 chips. Adds ×0.5 to the next. Resets on this. Okay, that could be quite good. I am essentially only grabbing negatives, only those that I believe will really help us out. So a 2-pair is not most useful to us. However, photograph will be quite nice with our hanging shed. That will remove all of our money, and I do not want to do that. Either of those are useful, however, we don't have room. A free reroll could be quite nice. That was pretty good. That was a good free reroll. 2-pair. Not something that we are playing. That is not how you spell EFOC. There are 2 E's in it. Okay, well, I would like to hear that, although abuelita, I'm not sure how they would interact with each other. Let's try it. That is unfortunate. Let's try it. And abuelita. Bye. Try you. That is okay. See what we can get from this. Oh, pass. Mr. Bones could help us out in case we get into a sticky situation. That helps with every cat, which currently we only have 2. End up going against the boss blind, and also another discard is always handy. We'll keep this just in case. Okay. Appears that our Subway Surfers continues to be losing, which is quite unfortunate. We need Toaster Balls. We do appear to be out of money. See what we can do here. Thank you. Fish! Thank you. And I have no idea what that is going to do. Apparently Mr. Bones. So we essentially have Mr. Bones now. And unless I can find a Temperance very soon, and I believe that is all that we are getting for this shop. And indeed it is. Okay. Can we move on? I believe that we should be alright here. We should look for this. We will start by deleting you. I'd like to start building into these 4s. How nice they are. And we will simply play the side card. Beat the coin. So, this might be cutting it a bit close, but we did do it. Alright. I believe that corpse is no longer alive. We're doing quite well. Please do not distract me. I am making sure I'm playing optimally. This one consumable slot.
Just playing Yahoo mode.
Every oak log you own. We do not have any oak logs. I do not want to do anything optimally. We're not playing towards flush 5 anymore. Temperance is what we need at the moment. We're at $100. Make sure that we do not overspend. A half blueprint would be nice. However, I do not have room. And we would like to get rid of horse as soon as possible. However, we do not currently have anything that will do such a thing. So we will have to just keep rolling. We can go ahead and get Michael. This is simply the most optimal strategy. We are wasting significantly less time by ensuring that everything we get from now on will be negative. We are now at 25% odds, which are quite nice. We we can now slow down a little bit and ensure that whenever something useful appears in the shop, we are able to purchase it, such as this temperance. Sisyphean Joker could be quite humorous. You are not in charge here. We continue to reroll. I do enjoy a bomb on occasion. Throwback could be quite handy. Make sure we keep Subway Surfers at the front. A negative magenta shulker box will be quite useful for later on. Convert left into right, and we can upgrade our played face cards, although we are not going for face cards any longer. Having Jimbo with us is going to be quite handy. No, I am busy. I will take, so Retro will increases the lower your game resolution is. And the most optimal way to handle that is to simply go to full screen and make our graphics the worst we possibly can. One moment. As I must ensure it is still being picked up on OBS. I would not want there to be any issues. It appears to be fine, but we will update it to ensure. I believe everything is running smoothly. So it is now what appears to be times 2.57 molt. It's quite nice. We have Subway Surfers running there. We should do fish. That is quite handy. Then I believe the next best thing for us to get would be fish. And then our final purchase, we should get a sponsor. And berry. I have a feeling as though this is either going to be quite good or quite bad for us, and I am not sure. So we will discover. Let's do the small blind. I believe discard these. We are still building towards that 4. There's the 4. Try to find more of it. That is wonderful. We will turn it gold and replace this horse at 5. And we will play this jack to try to destroy it. We hit the point. And this will be quite close. However, I believe that we will clear it just by a little bit. Yes, that is a times 27 molt, so that is quite nice. We will be here for just a little bit, as we do have to read through the entire B-movie script. However, that should not be too big of an issue, as we do have plenty of time. In the meantime, we can watch our Subway Surfers, which is currently at 10 tips and 5 volts. Our player has not been too good.
That has about 30,000 triggers. That is a good thing. 30,000 triggers.
Okay.
So, that's going about 100 triggers for, I'd like to say, 20 seconds. So.
Well, that is no problem of mine. I am fully willing to wait, as long as it is the most optimal thing to do.
Well, Smart Suraj.
As you can see, it adds what looks to be 8.33 molt, although earlier I believe it was 833.
Yeah.
Seemingly a decimal point. However, we do have a solution to this, which is to simply put our speed multiplier at 512x, and or animation skip messages, which is what I would prefer to do, keep our game running smooth. But that will speed things up just a bit, skip messages. But if we need it, we can go ahead and actually speed up the game proper. Do please keep it down for focus. This will make things run a little bit smoother for us, because I am here to play optimally, but also to make sure that the game runs its best. And this helps with that. Here. Click the 3 cards to apply an iFunny watermark to. We will apply it to these 3. That will be quite humorous. And due to our increased game speed, we can now simply reroll quite quickly until we have a very high likelihood of negatives. The game has crashed, but it has not actually crashed. Simply closed, and that is alright. We will get money. Reroll until we get some useful jokers. Worn down gaming chair, we will get quite a chuckle out of whenever it is able to crash. We'll take a sponsor. Upgrade our high card. We'll get Budgie. This is a good win. That is going to help us out in the future. And we will wait. And we will get a Monk Wojak, which is a good thing to have a negative of. Here, that is never going to be used. And we are also too low on money, seemingly, to purchase it. Which means that we should not be able to get this blueprint either. That is correct. Or is it because of horse? It is because of the horse. It would appear. It's quite unfortunate. So we will have to wait for the horse in order to be able to get anything else, which is quite a shame. However, we did get to 22.8% odds. And as for where our physical jokers are, I no longer have any clue. And I do not care enough to go hunting for them. So we will simply give up this part of it, get a bit more money, and move on. So, once again, our best move is to start with a single discard, then keep going until we find all our cores. Make sure that that is what we are flying around. We don't have a DNA right now, so we don't need to worry about that. We can play this. That's buckets, as they say. And just like that, we have cleared that blind. Get those. I believe there is not a significant reason to worry about recurrent chalk, as we do need to wait for the horse to die. Sets all your jokers, sells all your jokers for 2 times their sell value, and makes the next 7 rerolls free. Yes, this is an ad. Now, the problem with this is that it would sell our legendary, which is what is carrying our run currently. And although we would have nearly endless money, I do not believe that is the most optimal strategy. So instead, I will choose to make this a steal card, and we will move on. Now we can only play 1 hand here, which is quite worrying, as we have been cutting it a bit close. but we are able to find fours. Should be okay. Here's one of them. Okay. Well, best of luck. I missed the coin. We might not win this one. We cleared it. Do this. This is a solid chance of a million. That is unfortunate. We will open these. Then we can convert. Open this. Sell this. I would like to duplicate you, but unfortunately we do not get there. Whether we get anything there. And that is all that we have for this. I would like to, once again, of course, there's one of them. That's two. If we could find the third, that would be wonderful. If not, that is okay. Final chance. Okay. That is quite fine. We will simply play the 7. That time. Our score is still quite low. I would like to optimize it further. However, we do still need to wait on the horse, I believe. Never mind. We have waited long enough. The horse is now dead. And we can move on. So our high card is quite high level now. And we will be doing this. On this shop, it is lagging because I have clicked it too many times. This will give us more money, which is optimal. This will make sure that it does not reappear. We are avoiding collecting showmans, that way we do not have duplicates, as we do not want duplicates. Although I am noticing that we already do have EFOC. So,
That's funny.
no, I believe that we actually do not have EFOC. I think that is one that I was trying to purchase last time, and it did not end up going through. So, we should be all okay. Baseball card would be pretty nice here. However, we simply do not have room, and we are only looking for negatives. However, we do definitely have the money, and we are only growing stronger in that department. We are once again able to acquire Glungus, which is quite nice, as it was quite difficult parting with him earlier in the run, but I knew that we would get him and Penis back someday. So now it is just a mission to find Penis. Square Joker is a good thing to make sure that we don't see it anymore. Skipping a blind grants you $5. That is entirely useless to us. We do not have Obelisk. This would be quite nice if we could get it. However, right now we do not have the room. That gives us another Joker slot, which is quite nice. It also gets us another achievement, which will add to another Joker. There is Cavendish. There's a chance that we are able to break Cavendish, which would be quite humorous. There is Tree. And we were able to get some logs. We did that for the achievement. However, if we find another tree, we will have to purchase it too. I saw Penis there, however Penis is not negative, so unfortunately we were not able to take him. This is a card that we can take, however we will not take Marble Joker. Well, to turn something evil is an option, and it is one that I would like to have, just in case. This Joker gains +3 molt if played hand, contains a Germa. Currently we have no Germa in our deck, so that is not the most useful for us. However, it is something that is useful to keep in mind that we do have at our disposal. Splash is going to be quite nice. Mime is also very handy for the run we are going on. El Wee Wee. It's pretty cool. I'm not entirely sure what that explosion was. We did just get Ride the Bus, and that was El Wee Wee. We cannot move El Wee Wee without destroying him, so I will keep that in mind. Gallon Rebate. Cantaloupe. El Wee Wee. And simply what we will do instead is move Subway Surfers in front of it. Riff Raff we cannot use, but we will take it so that it does not appear. I believe we just enhanced something. Just to say what? Oh, there's Horse. We would like to remove Horse. I'm not exactly sure when we got Horse, but now we do not. Are we able to? Yes, we are able to get Jokers once again. It looks like we have 2 empty slots, which is quite interesting. There's a Jolly Joker. For those of you who are uninitiated, as a wild card. Here we can get a negative ice cream. The issue with an ice cream is we will have to replace it later on in the run. However, we can keep it for now. I do quite enjoy the appearance of a negative 8-ball. I think that it is a very interesting looking Joker, just visually speaking. Eats the Joker on its left when blind is selected, and adds half its sell value to this Joker's end of the round payout. I do not want any of our Jokers to be destroyed, so I will simply put Blue Bear all the way there. Put a tree somewhere in there. Our Greatest Golfer. Quite nice. That is the Sun. A green Joker. Quite helpful. Abstract is pretty powerful in this current run. Our face cards are all very strong. And soon we'll get the ability to turn all of our cards into Jokers. Fish.
Fish!
Beetle pair. We are not playing pairs, however, once again, we just want it out of the thing. Its sell value gets randomized at the start of every blind. That's quite nice. We will not be destroying it ever, though. No, that does not affect us. Getting Sock and Buskin would be quite nice later on. There's Popcorn. And there's Penis. Thank God. This is a very good shop for us here. Clever Joker, along with Crafty Joker, along with Wrathful Joker. And in this next one, we immediately get Moonwalking Pig, as well as Instant Win. We will, of course, use. And then we get Red Card. And moving on, we get Midas Mask. And additionally, a Crazy Joker. There's Horse. Which is quite unfortunate, but fortunately it is the acquired thing. You get an instant win. There's another worn-down gaming chair. It appears that they keep breaking down. Shortcut. And straight. Parkour Civilization. And Joker. Cat with Homophobia. In that Yaha Mouse. Unfortunate. Scholar. Sand. There's Popcorn. We will have to replace it later on. There's a Diet Cola, which we will go ahead and use to ensure we double anything we get in the future. We're at the point where we're getting duplicate Jimbos, which is a good and a bad sign. It means that we have reached almost every single base Joker. However, there are still many that we are missing, which means we are just rolling unfortunate when we get a regular Joker. There is a negative Lusty, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. We have no reason to purchase a base Joker, as that does not benefit us in any way. However, a Diet Cola we can purchase just to sell and get another double tag. It does appear that we have what is seemingly every common Joker in the game. Ceremonial Dagger is quite interesting, as we really should not take it, so we will not. Dusk is going to be quite useful here. I would love to have Space Joker. It's just a matter of how many rerolls until we have him. Turtle Bean is a solid guy. That will be getting used. Loyalty card might do something at some point eventually. Randomly copies the Joker to its left or the Joker to its right. Well, I have no idea what those are, but it's okay. That is another Son of Vegas. And one more. Beautiful. There is Sock and Buskin. There's Ramen. And you know what? That was such a successful one. I feel like we need another. Madness would be a choice. Constellation would be quite handy. However, it does appear that we do not have the money for it, which is quite unfortunate. Although, we can simply sell, and we are now okay. So we will move on here. We are at negative $19. Workout Game Chair seems to have died. We will discard you. We will discard just about everything, as we primarily are here for these fours. We did not win it. Unfortunate. Let's try this. And we'll play this last part in hopes that it is shattering. We missed, but Cantaloupe is going to help out. We got Puke, which damages blinds by 10%. That is not something that we're too terribly in need of at the moment. However, it is a nice gesture. We would not like to go down an ante. We are trying to make it as far as possible at this point. Toaster Ball is very good. However, I would much rather have a negative Toaster Ball. I would pass. Look at that. Regalia would be very good. However, I do not see it being the most optimal strategy at all. However, we do need to fish. We can move on. That's okay. I believe the most optimal strategy at this point is to simply use our Plutos and to skip straight to the boss blind. Draw unmodified cards is quite unfortunate. Use our Cantaloupe and our coin catching game will be quite alright. I have to say that is a modified card, so I am not entirely sure what the deal with that is. That being said, we will get a blank. We will also get Grabber and Seed Money. Will all be quite helpful. Jumpy Yahi Pack. Re-triggers the Joker to the right twice. Is quite nice. We will sell this. And you. And select you. Which I would like. What would be the most useful Joker to duplicate? I don't believe that this would do anything. We will put him in here somewhere, which has the potential of helping out, and also the potential of doing nothing, both of which are quite interesting. So, DNA, something that I do desperately want, and now I wish that I had not just thrown him in here, because I have no concept of where he is, although I do believe I did just see him. There you are. DNA, all the way to the front. And Subway Surfers. Perfect. Alright. And we are able to move on here after a video. So what we can do here is quite interesting. We would like to destroy all of this. I'm not entirely sure what is going on with the gaps, why I can't select certain parts, or why some of them are upside down. We will choose to destroy them, which might help us out some. We would not like to use this, and we will play you. Should be able to win this quite easily. E13 is still quite low though, so I would certainly like to do better than that. Creating Pluto will certainly help with that. If there's anything interesting in this buffoon pack, which there does not seem to be. Anything interesting in Sarconivac? We will pass on you. A legendary Joker could be quite beneficial. I believe we have to get rid of Subway Surfers for that. Yorick will do something at some point. Showman is not something that I would ever like to claim here. And there is not too much else that I want here. Although there is one thing that I am now searching for, and we will see how long it takes to find. We don't get it in the next 5 rolls. I suppose we can move on without it, but it is quite important, so I would not enjoy doing so. That will be quite helpful. Not what I was looking for, but it's not a bad pickup. Same goes for sand. Really just want the one item at the moment. Although Mucho Texto would be quite cool. It is not what I'm looking for. Neither is Ancient Joker, however it could also help, plus that frees up slots for more rare Jokers in the future. More useful rare Jokers, that is. If we don't get it in 3, we will move on, as unfortunate as it is. Okay, well, I know not to get that one now. And that is quite unfortunate. The game is done. So the video will be 2.